Hi friends, this is Jen from You Can Do It Too. And it's been a long time since I've done or shown you anything. It's not that I haven't done anything. I've been quite busy actually. My latest is quilting, sewing, making blankets, designing them. I just love it. It all started November 9th of 2016 because I needed therapy after, that day. So instead of paying $60 for a therapist, I decided to make quilts. And I want to show you what I've done so far. This one was my first one. It's for my daughter Stephanie. It was basically with jelly rolls, and it also has a backing, and in between there's actually a little blanket. It's really cool. This one is for my nephew. This is the third one I've made. I love the colors. It's actually called the Jewish Gilt quilt. It also has backing, etc. This one I made for my honey and I. It's for our king size bed. It is very gay, very colorful. I love the fringe over here. I have not cut all of the filling. It's huge though. It's a king size. It took forever to make. This one is very. It was a lot of work because I had to cut these. I had to cut these. I have to. It was a nightmare, but it had to be done. I did it, and that's for my wife. So these are the three that I've made so far. Let me show you my setup. So we do have a craft room. However, when my wife is at home and I like to be with her, she'll watch TV and I'll just sew. And no, the new sewing machines don't make that much noise. But this is what I did in our dining room. I basically brought one of the tables, and this is our dining room table. I put my cutting board over here. This is what I'm working on right now. I'm actually getting these. It's called jelly rolls. You can buy them, and I bought a stack of gray and white and a jelly roll of blacks. And I had this light violet or light purple. I had it from my quilt over there. So I had some scrap from that, and I went ahead and I cut it. So I cut the jelly rolls. I cut them. I sew them all together, and then I cut them into 10 by 10s. That's the one I'm working right now for my niece, and it's going to be called the Princess. This is my setup. I'm pretty orderly. These are my rulers. These are really cool, and it is worth the investment. They're not cheap. Oh, let me show you this. I always do sketches of everything. This is the next one. And you might not understand it, but it's jelly rolls, how many I need, what the inches and everything. You always have to have this just to guide yourself. Because, for example, in the one that I did for my nephew, the Jewish Gilt, I wanted to make sure that I named each square. That way I don't have to really think about it, because you're doing one line, and then you're doing the middle row, and then you're doing another row, and then another little row. So you want to make sure that as you go, you check them out. Okay. This one is the measurements for that one. Don't trust me, I'm the only one that can understand that. And this is for the one that I did for my wife and I. So I really had to go under, over, and as I went ahead and highlighted. Okay. So I make sure that I have that ready to see, because you can mess up. You can actually put these right here is going to be one up, one vertical, one horizontal, and it's going by rows. So look, check out what I made. I'm pretty proud of my stuff. I saw these on YouTube, and I decided to make me one. It's basically from one of my that I had from my quilt right here. As a matter of fact, you can see it right there. Well, I had more left over, so I went ahead and I made a sewing machine pad. And over here I have my little tweezer too, in case I screw up, I can pull out all the strings. I have my short little scissors. You need a good one of these, people. These are extremely sharp. They cut. It's called a fabric cutter roller, and it does come with this for you to make sure you don't cut yourself. This can slice one of your fingers. Over here I have one with a magnifying glass, so I can see Okay, yes, I need it. Don't call me old, just call me smart. I also have a pen just in case I need it to make your scribbles. I always know where it is. And of course, my scissors. So I made this, and it's really cool. Actually, I had leftover blanket, so I went ahead and I did that. But isn't that cool? I even, look at this. Look how professional I made it. It's not perfect, as you can see. Proof that I made it, but it works for me. I have my cutting board. This is beautiful. I love this stuff. Don't ever go off of it for two reasons. One, you'll scratch the shit out of your table. Sorry, you'll scratch your table. And two, it will dull the blade on your roller. I have a smaller one over here that I can rotate, okay? And of course I have all my leftover from what I bought for my big quilt. And these, when I cut those into 10 by 10s, and it's by rows, okay? I have some scrap left, which it only left me about 5 inches. So I cut it into 4 inches, and check this out. Not bad. It's gonna be for the next project that I'm making that is in my head. Because remember, you can always use that stuff. I also have a little bin over here, and as I go doing my stuff, I go ahead and I put scraps in color baggies. So I have all my black ones over here. I have all my white ones. I actually made one that it was white and it had a line in between. So I have a bunch of those. So I'm going to use it for something. So again, don't ever, look at that. I got all of these in a bunch of little baggies that are basically color coordinated. Okay. So I got these little cutters. This is for triangles. This is for rhomboids. I love this. This is a small one. This is a 4.5 inch square, which is great. And then I have a 6.5 inch square. I was cutting some squares for my nephews for the Jewish guilt, and I needed to measure it. Some of them are 3 inches, and the other ones are 2.5. So I put these so I know I don't have to start counting 1, 2.5, 1, 2.5. I can just put it there and know where it is. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I understand my madness, but it's good. So that's it. And of course, I have a 9 inch square. Also, it's 9.5 actually. So it's I love this. I love this stuff because you really need it. The one I use the most is this big ruler. This is great if you're working with jelly rolls. Again, I have it marked right here. Okay, as you can see, this is a 1, 2. Actually, it's from here to here. 1, 2.5. So all I have to do if I want to measure a 2.5 inch slash is just put the textile underneath, level it to this line, and there you go. It's cut. And the cool thing about it is that you can always unpeel and peel them again somewhere else. Just make sure that when you peel them and unpeel them, if you take them off and you don't have them, so you know what size you used them, you always wipe this off. You don't want that sticky stuff in it. So I normally leave them and then I move them around on the same size. Okay, always keep your stuff clean. I do have this plastic table, you can see, and this is my iron. Okay, this is my ironing board. So I make sure that I put a towel and a sheet over it, and don't ever leave your your iron on and on the table. So just be aware of that because plastic does burn. But it works great for me. Again, this is my setup, and right now I'm working on other stuff, but as you can see, I have my nice little chair right there, my nice little setup right there. Everything is good, and this is what I've done, and this is what I'm doing, and guess what? If you want one, just tell me, and I for sure will make it for you and sell it to you. Okay? How much? Depends on how big it is, how complicated. It could be $100 to $250. It depends on the material and how many hours it takes me. But I'm here to make you one. You pick a color, pick a style, subscribe. All right? Peace. And again, this is Jen, because if I can do it, you can do it too. And this is great therapy. Shalom. Peace. Bye.